Within the last hour, another person has died in connection to using e-cigarettes. The latest case in the state of Georgia. Earlier today, the CEO of e-cig maker Juul stepped down, effective immediately. That comes in the middle of public calls for tighter restrictions on these e-cigs after the massive growth of the number of teens who are vaping now and people getting sick from vaping-related illnesses. Now, parents, lawmakers, and public health advocates blame Juul and other companies for the explosive growth. Our Amy Anderson talked to a local expert about these vaping shakeup.
We talked with more than a half dozen vape shops across the metro, like this one here at 75th and Metcalf, who've always been more than willing to help us out on stories about e-cigarettes. But today, things were different. And with so many recent stories, it's no wonder.
Vaping, to me, it sounded like a really good idea to try to wean myself off of smoking.
Joseph Cochran smoked, then vaped, then, like so many others, went back to smoking. He says today's news of Juul's shakeup and commitment to halt advertising is a good thing.
I think it is good that they stop showing people partying, because there's this mentality amongst young kids. It's like, oh, I want to be that 20-year-old in college going to parties and like having fun.
KCTV5 recently reported the boom of young people who've taken up vaping, alarming numbers of kids in high school, many who've never even smoked a cigarette. According to the CDC, in just 1 year, the number of middle and high school students using e-cigarettes jumped from 2.1 million in 2017 to 3.6 million in 2018. Shawnee Mission School District Health Director Shelby Rebeck says recent reports of the potential dangers of vaping appears to be getting the attention of students.
We're starting to hear stories of break the vape, where kids are actually having parties. They're using a hammer and breaking their vape devices and supporting each other in that decision.
The downside, she says, is that they are now so heavily addicted to nicotine, they're turning to cigarettes. Still, she says, today's news from Juul is good news.
There's just so much that we don't know. We just want the kids to stop. And I think that message, I'm starting to feel like that message is getting out there.
In Overland Park, Kansas, Amy Anderson, KCTV5 News.